I think it was on March 25th of this year, President Trump signed the Sovereign Wealth Fund into law. And again, what does that mean? Well, if you're taking the percentages of the value of all those entities at the bottom, stock market, recaptured assets, total hidden wealth, etc., it says an asset-backed dollar. That's different than what our current dollar is. So in my opinion, what's happening is you're transitioning from a Federal Reserve dollar to a USA asset-backed dollar, which will be backed by a basket of commodities. Probably it could be 40% gold, 30% silver. And there was a unit white paper that was written in 2023. It's called a unit. And ironically, in the Coinage Acts, we use the term coin or unit. If people want to read that, they state, and the BRICS nations were talking about the importance of it. They basically state within that document that a coin or unit would be used as the terminology. And so it's ironic that the BRICS nations use unit and they back it by 40% gold. Gold is always at the top. And then, silver, land, natural gas, minerals, all those other things. If you can back all those commodities, it's important. Let me differentiate one important point that's on there. So do you see how it says USA hidden wealth? Do you see how it says US national debt? It does not say USA. This is what I believe to be the case. And I understand that the word believe has the word lie in it. So take it with a grain of salt. But if people want to go read, they can do so. We write the Declaration of Independence. The Articles of Confederation are established. The Articles of Confederation in Article 1 is very clear. And it says the style of this confederacy shall be the United States of America. That is not the same legal entity as the United States. The United States Constitution was written and ratified and came into law in 1789. So you have to think of it as the Articles of Confederation are written, they're then amended through the U.S. Constitution. And if you read the third article that I wrote, what does the U.S. debt clock foresee? I lay out a chart of how Thomas Jefferson actually set up the legal entities. This is why we say Thomas Jefferson survives or Thomas Jefferson lives, because he set up the fail-safes in the legal documents. The United States of America is based off of Greek city-states. It's the Greek Confederacy. And then you got to think the Roman Republic. The Roman Republic is the United States. The Greek Confederacy is the United States of America. Federalist, anti-federalist, right? This is how you can view those terms. So when they put U.S. national debt, that's a distinct difference from the United States of America and its legal entity. When they printed the Continental into the oblivion and then created the United States, they moved the Continental debt under the United States corporate document, absolved it, and created the new coinage. And when they adjourned sine die, just like Oklahoma's legislature does. That doesn't mean they absolved that entity. I've always been taught, well, the Articles of Confederation, they don't have as much value. You need to read the Constitution. No, you need to read them in conjunction. And if you look, they actually set up both Congresses within those documents. And that's why they're saying USA Treasury dollars. That's different than the US Treasury. The USA is the United States of America. So Scott Bessent right now is overseeing the US. But if you look at the signing of documents, I know people have been concerned about the auto pen. It's very clear to me that President Trump sometimes signs as President of the United States, sometimes signs as President of the United States of America, because you can be the President of the United States of America, which is a separate corporate entity than the United States.